Shalom Israel. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street, New York, under commanding General Yohanna. I'm Prison Officer Yakad. Prison Officer. Alright, and today we're about to begin today's Sabbath service as is laid out in the scriptures. Imagine. Who's priest?
Maikwa, ban banyanyam banya shala.
Maikwa, ban banyanyam banya shala.
How about some of your Sabbath?
Yeah, how about some of your Sabbath?
La Yashala to Israel.
What? So imagine up in up or down, which means the right hand face the east. Sa, which means to turn. You're gonna say the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shamashamai, Padah, Yah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakota, Taba'a, Ratazaka, Ayah, Aisha, Ba'arata, Kawa, Ayah, Mashamaya, Nathan, Yanawa, Nakam, Ka, Yawam, Masalakna, Masalakna,
In the English, our Father,
hallowed be thy name, Yahweh,
kingdom
thy
come,
kingdom come,
will be done,
will be done,
good, as it is
as in
in
heaven.
heaven, give us this day, our daily bread, forgive us our debts,
Forgive us our debts.
forgive us our
Forgive us our debts, and lead us not
temptation,
into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
You're going to see the Hakak or the power. Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Baruch Shai, Nathan Nanawa, Hakak, Larapa, Kamakala, Kamanawa, Hakak, Lataha, Kamatazariah, Hakak, Lakoyama. Matayam, Akak, Irakawa, Amata, Garrison, Hashem, Yahushai, Walaman.
In English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Name of Yahushai.
Name of Yahushai.
The power.
It is the power.
The power to heal. Man of sickness.
Man of sickness.
Man of disease.
Man of disease.
For the cleanse the
For the cleanse the leper.
For the raise the dead.
For the raise the
For
dead.
against unpeace.
For against unpeace.
Cast them out.
Cast them out.
Name of Yahushai.
Name of Yahushai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. We're going to say the blessings. Barakatah Yahweh, Wa Yahushai, Wa Maka'ala, Wa Alahaya, Matazabia, Alawak Yahanna, Alawak Asrani, Akatazania, Akayelin, Wa Akwatia, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Wala Aman.
In the English, bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
Yahushai.
And the angels,
General, Captain, Officers, Supers,
and the sisters.
Yahweh,
Name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it. We're going to say the blessed Israel. Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Barakanawa, Wayasha'al, Wahabiyah, Sapari, Barak, Rapah, Magad, Bahashem, Yahushai, Walaman.
In the English, Yahweh, name of
Yahushai.
Bless us,
and Israel,
and the school, bless, heal, shield, protect our Lord, name of Yahweh. Thank you, so be it.
We're going to say Psalm 121 in Hebrew. Asha'a, Ayanya, Al-Hariyam, Yaba'a, Azariah, Ayam, Yahweh, Aisha, Samayam, Arakas, Aliatan, Namawa, Ragalka, Alianawa, Shamarka, Ana, La'a, Yanawa, Wa'a, Yayashun, Shawama, Yasha'al, Yahweh, Samarka, Yahweh, Zalka, Aliyah, Yajanka, Yawama, Ashama, La'a, Yakaka, Wayara, Alayali, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Yakara, Yashama, Afnaspuka, Yahweh, Yashama, Kazahaka, Wabaka, Mayata, Wai, Iwana.
Psalms 121 in English. I will lift up my eyes. Unto the hills. From whence comes my help? My help coming from Yahweh.
My help comes from Yahweh.
Between heaven and earth. Do not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee, not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel. Not slumber, not sleep. How is thy keeper? How is thy shade? Upon thy right hand. Shall not smite thee by day. Nor the moon by night. How shall preserve thee? From all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. How shall preserve thy going out? And I come in. This time forth.
And even forevermore. We're going to say Psalm 23 in Hebrew. Alahaya, Al-Damayalaka, Al-Takarat, Al-Tashakwa, Al-Kayahanna, Wayabiyaka, Yahamayawan, Ra'at, I.S.U.P.K, Arayamuwa, Sawadat, I.S.U.P.K, Amaru, Lakawa, Wayakadam, Magawia, Wala'a, Yazaka, Yasha'al, Iwada, Kaya, I.S.U.P.K, Laba, Yakaro, Aliyaka, Baria, Yakarata, Ahalia, Adawam, Wayashumai Alayam, Mawa Abba, Habarayam, Yabab, Aimala, Palasha, and Yeshabia, Kazawo, Gam Ashawa, Lanawa, Imam, Ayawa, Zarawa, Banyalawa, Selah, Aishalaham, Kamadia, Sayasara, Kayabia, Manakal, Wayashma, Marwa, Bayanda Ara, Ayawa, the man, Adama, Yatam, Nadab Yamuwa, Kaira, Wakazaba, Wakal, Kazamanai, Kama, Asha, Amaro, Ayarasha, Nanawa, Nawa, Alahaya, Shayatam, Kagagala, Kakwash, Lapanya, Rawaka. Ka'ash, Taba Ira, Wakalahaba, Talaha, Arayam, Khan, Taradapna, Basaraika, Wabasa, Wapaska, Tabahal, Panyahan, Palawan, Waya, Bakwashwa, Shamka, Yahweh, Yabashwa, Waya, Baharwa, Waya, Salake. IDI, Waya, Kaparwa, Waya, Abadwa, Waya, Daiwa, Kaya, Ata, Shamka, Yahweh, Labaka, Aliyawan, Alkaha, Ratasa.
Keep not our silence.
Keep not our silence.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Hold on thy peace.
Hold on thy peace.
Be not still.
Be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Lo, thine enemies.
Thine enemies.
Make it to mock.
Make it to
Be
mock.
not hidden.
Be not
Be
hidden.
lifted up the head.
And lift up the head.
Taking crafty
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy
people. And consult
against thy people.
against thy people.
They have said,
Come,
let us cut them
let us cut them off.
Being a nation.
Being a nation.
The name of
And the name of Israel.
Go on
They become rebels.
They have consulted
They have consulted together.
One
One consent.
They have confederate
They
against
are confederate against
tabernacles of Edom.
Tabernacles of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
Ishmaelites.
Moab.
Abirim.
Yabal.
Ammon.
Amalek. Philistines.
Philistines.
Inhabitants of
The inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur. Also is joined
Also is joined with them.
Children of Lot.
Salah.
Go unto them.
Go unto them.
Unto the Medians. To the Syria.
To the Syria.
To Jabin. Up his son. The spirits at the end. Became as dung for the
Became as dung for the
Make them noble.
Make them noble.
Like Uri.
Like Uri.
Like Zay.
Like Zay. Yea.
All the
All the princes. Zah.
Saluma. Let us take to ourselves.
Let us take to ourselves.
The houses of Yahweh in possession.
Houses of Yahweh in possession.
Oh my power.
Oh my power.
Make them like a weed.
Make them like a weed.
And suffer before the
And
wind.
suffer before the wind.
Fire burn the wood.
And fire burn the
And
wood.
flame set in the mountain.
And
Fire.
flame set in the mountains of fire.
So persecute them.
So persecute
With
them.
thy tempest.
With thy tempest.
Make them afraid.
Make them afraid.
With thy storm.
With thy storm.
Fill their faces with
Fill their faces with
shame.
shame.
And they may seek thy name.
And they may seek thy
O
name.
Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Let them be confounded.
Let them be confounded.
Trouble.
And trouble.
Forever. Yea,
Yea.
let them be put to shame.
Let them be put to shame.
Perish.
And perish.
That men may know.
That men may know.
That
thou,
whose name alone is Yahweh.
Name alone is Yahweh.
The Most High over all.
and the Most High over all names.
To read the I.S.U.P.K verses. Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth.
All things
And all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Name of Yahweh.
Name of Yahweh.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Evils and curses.
And evils and curses.
Punishment and
And
destruction.
punishment and
The
destruction.
heathen.
To the heathen.
Speak against
That
us.
speak against us.
Thy prophets.
Thy prophets.
Teachers.
Teachers.
The princes.
The princes.
The priests. Israelite
Israelite
brothers.
brothers.
And the
And the
schools. And evils and
And evils and curses.
And punishment and
And punishment and
destruction.
destruction.
The heathen.
The heathen.
And shake loose.
And
The
shake-
church of the rich of
Church of the rich of
Israel.
Israel.
Refuse to give to the
And
schools.
refuse to give to the
Force their riches.
Force their riches.
Enter into thy
Enter
sanctuary.
into thy sanctuary.
And evils and
And
curses.
evils and curses.
And punishment and
And
destruction.
punishment and destruction.
The Edomites,
Edomites,
the nations,
and the nations,
drug
and the
dealers,
drug dealers,
the court system,
court system,
the prison
prison
system,
system,
Planned
Planned
Parenthood,
Parenthood,
all the governments of our enemies,
all the governments of our enemies,
Amalek synagogue and
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Roman Catholic
Roman
Church,
Catholic Church, the Pope,
Islam,
Islam,
Christianity,
Christianity,
Egyptology,
Egyptology,
militia,
militia,
Ku Klux Klan,
Ku Klux Klan,
Aryan
Aryan
Nation,
Nation,
skinheads,
skinheads,
Wascomatasi,
Wascomatasi,
gay
gay
movement,
movement,
lesbian
movement,
spies,
spies,
workers of witchcraft,
workers of witchcraft,
NASA space
NASA
program,
Space Program, Army,
Navy,
Air Force,
Marine,
Wall Street,
open up the internet, and the airwaves, cable access channel, and the radio channel, convict the spirit of any of thy people, that seek to stop us,
and bring destruction.
all the heathen,
that
stand in the
that stand in the
way,
way,
try to stop
or try to
us,
stop us,
broadcasting your word,
broadcasting your word,
all the planet,
all the planet,
that moves all the planes,
all the planes,
cause them to go to and fro, through the earth, consume them,
the
plague, shake the house of the
shake
sea,
down from the sea,
and the
and the
murderer,
murderer,
let your house,
Yahweh,
Michael,
and
Gabriel,
Gabriel,
come down with the
come down with
flying
flying
saucers,
saucers,
and punish all
and
the
punish all the
heathen,
heathen,
and come up against us, as we speak thy
as we
word,
speak thy word,
cause it to be known by all,
cause it to be known by all,
the angels
that is the angel that
cause
has
it to be spread through the media,
cause it to spread to the media,
through the world,
to the whole world,
cause them to shake at thy
cause them
covenant,
to shake at thy
name
covenant,
of
name of
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
thank you all,
thank you,
so be it.
so be it.
Sir? You shall be which means to be seated. Today we will continue the reading from the book of Numbers, chapter 16, and from verse 47. I'm going to read it here in the Hebrew. Where the bar, Yahweh, Allah Mashah, the Amma, Allah, Allah Isaac, Ban, Aharan, Hakahan, Waya Amar, Salakia, Waya Ram, Hamakatata, Babayan, Salakia, Hashara Paha, Salakia, Hasharapa, Wayata, Salakia, Ha'ash, Zara, Hala'ah, Salakia, Kaya, Kadashwa, Salakia, the book of Numbers, chapter 17 and verse 3. Hamakatawa, Haka Ta'ayam, Ha'ala, Banapashatam, Wa'ai Shawa, Atam, Rakwa'aya, Pakayam, Tazapayawa, Tazapa Wiya, Lamazabak, Kaya, Hakora Yabam, Lapanya Yahawa, Wayakwa Dashua, Wayahayawa, La Awa, Labanya Yashre'ala.
The book of Numbers, chapter 16 and verse 47. And Aaron took as Moses commanded and ran into the midst of the congregation. And behold, the plague was begun among the people. And he put on incense and made an atonement for the people. Verse 48. And he stood between the dead and the living, and the plague was stayed. Verse 49. Now they that died in the plague were 14,700, besides them that died about the matter of Korah. Verse 50. And Aaron returned unto Moses unto the door of the tabernacle and of the congregation, and the plague was stayed. The book of Numbers, chapter 17 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and take every one of them a rod, according to the house of their fathers, of all their princes, according to the house of their fathers, 12 rods. Write thou every man's name upon his rod. Verse 3. And thou shalt write Aaron's name upon the rod of Levi, for one rod shall be for the head of the house of their fathers.
Go ahead, sir. All right, most thank Christ. So again, we're seeing this is just a continuation of the story that happened with Korah and his men, right, coming up against who the Lord has chosen to lead the nation of Israel. And because of that, it had severe consequences, not just for those men who were there, but also other people who were in the congregation. That is why we always have to be very careful and wary of how we deal and how we operate to the Most High. You understand? Especially against the men who the Most High have chosen. And right now, the Most High has chosen commanding General Yahanna to lead the nation of Israel. No other person, no other group, and there's only one leader. This is not a democracy. You understand? This is not Republicans and all this kind of stuff that we see in here. You understand? The Most High always have one man, you understand, to lead the nation of Israel. So like yes, sir.
So again, just as reiterating and what you brought out again, there's a simple reminder again, and we're reading out of the records of the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, history, and all that is taking place here is because of disobedience, and because again of not following, the man that the Most High put in charge, and we see the consequences of not following that man. And this is why we always bring these reminders, not of our own understanding, but what was laid down from our forefathers from the beginning, that we should follow after their footsteps, after their doings, and always remember that there is someone who is supreme and who is in charge over the nation of Israel, who give directive and commands to follow, and pass down through righteous men, black men.
I'm just saying. We continue reading. The book of Numbers, chapter 17, and verse 4. Wayakwaka ala Aliazar, Akahan, Ata, Makatawa, Anakashaf, Ashar, Aquaraya Bawa, Ashara Huya Salakia, Ashara Huyam, Wayara Fa'ai Wam, Kazapawaya, Lamazabak, verse 5, Zakarawan, Labanya Yasha'ala, Lama'aina, Asher La'a, Yokorab, Ayash, Za, Ashar, La'a, Mazara'ai, Aharan, Awa'a, Lakora, Tayal, Quataraf, Lapanya Yahweh, Wala'a, Yahayaha, Kakwarak, Waka, Ayatawa, Kaasha, Daba, Yahweh, Bayad, Masha, Lawa. Verse 6. Wayalaw Lanawa, Kal, Aida, Banya, Yasha'ala, Mamakara, Al, Masha, Wa'ila, Aharan, La'ama, Atham, Hamath, Aima, Yahweh. Verse 7. Wayahaya, Bahakwa Hala, Ha'ida, Al, Masha, Wa'al, Akahan, Wayapanawa, Allah, Ahal, Mawa'ida, Wahina, Kasahawa, Ha'ainana, Wayara, Kabawad, Yahweh. Verse 8. Wayadaba, Masha, wa Aharon, Allah, Panya, Ahal, Mawa'ida. Verse 9. Wa Yadaba, Yahweh, Allah, Mashallah, Amma. Verse 10. Haramawa, Matawaka, Ha'ida, Haza'atha, wa Akal, Mata, Salaki Atam, Karagai, wa Yapalawa, I, Panayaham.
Come on, come. The book of Numbers, chapter 17 and verse 4. And thou shalt lay them up in the tabernacle of the congregation before the testimony, where I will meet with you. Verse 5. And it shall come to pass that the man's rod, whom I shall choose, shall blossom, and I will make it cease from me the murmurings of the children of Israel, whereby they murmur against you. Verse 6. And Moses spake unto the children of Israel, and every one of their princes gave him a rod apiece, for each prince, one according to their father's house, even 12 rods. And the rod of Aaron was among their rods. Verse 7. And Moses laid it up, the rods before the Lord, in the tabernacle of witness. Verse 8. And it came to pass that on the morrow Moses went into the tabernacle of witness, and behold, the rod of Aaron for the house of Levi was budded, and brought forth the buds, and bloomed blossoms, and yield almonds. Verse 9. And Moses brought out all the rods from before the Lord unto the children of Israel, and they looked, and took every man his rod. Verse 10. And the Lord said unto Moses, bring Aaron's rod again before the testimony, to be kept for a token against the rebels, and thou shalt quite take away their murmurings from me, that they die not.
Okay, Muslim Christ. So we see him once more. I mean, the Most High has time and time again in the scriptures has given us examples of, how he chooses the men, understand, that he wants to lead the nation of Israel. And anybody who comes up against that will face the consequences, understand, of coming up against men of the Lord. And that is why here in the I.S.U.P.K and the commanding GEN.YAHANNA, anybody who comes up against the men chosen to do the work of the Most High, do it at their own risk. You understand? And time again, we have seen where other individuals have come up in many different ways against the I.S.U.P.K and the commander GEN.YAHANNA, and we have seen the judgment that the Lord has bestowed unto them. You understand? And that is it. You can add anything.
Again, a great demonstration again, choosing, just as you brought out again, who is the mouthpiece at this point in time, at the Most High. And this was again, the Levitical priesthood, which was the tribe of Levi, because, taking these 12 rods, and showing that who the Lord with, who we give, that authority, to minister unto the people, to avoid, as you say, that conflict and again, that dispute amongst brothers. Not, acknowledging, that, hey, this is the one who the Most High in charge. And this is always a reminder, so that I can remind that to the nation. Now again, when we take it into today's example, now again, the priesthood now is, through our King Yahushua is established from the beginning, through the order of, as we read earlier on in our passage, through Melchizedek, at that point in time, the high priest. And like that, as you see, a different breakdown. But now we understand again by following the men that the Lord chose, or the men that the Most High put as mouthpiece to speak again to the people or to the children of Israel, that as he also brought out again, anytime you go to come up against them, then there will be consequences. Now it's showing you a difference that, as we say, to avoid the murmuring and to avoid the conflict against brothers. Right?
See, I imagine. Next, please.
Matkoya, ban banyamyan, banya shala.
Matkoya, ban banyamyam, banya shala.
How about Shemya with Shai Brakata?
How about Shem Shabbat?
The shop there which makes you be seated. We continue the reading in the book of Numbers, chapter 17, and verse 11. Wayama Masha Allah Aharan Hoka Ab Hamakatha Watan Aliyaha Ashar Ash Ma'ayla Amazabak Wayashep Washayam Kwatara Wahawala Salakia Waha Walaka Mahara Allah Ha'aida Wakapa Aila Yaham Kaya Yataza'a Hakwa Tazap Malapanya Yahweh Hakal Hanagap verse 12. Verse 12. Wayakwaka Aharan Ka Ashar. Yeah, 12. Wayaratza Allah Tawaka Hakwahal Wahana Akal Hanagat Ba'aima Wayatan Al Hakwatara Wayakapa Al Ha'aima verse 13. Waya Aimai Salakia Waya Aiman Banaya Salakia Bayan Hamatazayam Wabayan Hakayayam Wa Aitaza Hamagap verse 14. Waya Hayawa Hamatayam Bamaga Bama Pagap Salakia Bama Gap Arabai Aishara Allah Washabai Ma'awaf Malabad Hamatazayam the Ba Kwaraka verse 15. Wayashab Aharan Allah Masha Allah Atka Ahal Mawa'ira Salaka Wahagap Ainataza verse 16. Wayadaba Yahweh, Allah, Mashallah, Amma, verse 17. Daba Allah Banya Yasha'ala, Wakwaka, Ma'atam, Mata, Labaya, Ab, Ata, Saslakia, Ma'ata, Kal, Nashaya I Anaham, Labaya, Ba'atam, Shanayam, Aishara, Matawa, Ayash, Shamawa, Takat, Ta Kabath, Salakia, Ka Tab, I, Matahan, Salakia, Mata Hawa. That's it. 11. Stop. Last time we stop, I think we stop at 10. Or to stop at 1.
No, you continue in 18 to finish all your 7 verse.
Yeah, but do that. Carry on as different thing. Yeah.
Do it like that.
Yeah, we do like that.
The book of Numbers, chapter 17, verse 11. And Moses did so, as the Lord commanded him, so did he. And the children of Israel spake unto Moses, saying, Behold, we die, we perish, we all perish. Verse 13. Whosoever cometh anything near unto the tabernacle of the Lord shall die. Shall we be consumed with dying? Book of Numbers, chapter 18, and verse 1. And the Lord said unto Aaron, Thou and thy sons and thy father's house with thee shall bear the iniquity of the sanctuary, and thou and thy sons with thee shall bear the iniquity of your priesthood. Verse 2. And thy brethren also of the tribe of Levi and the tribe of thy father bring thou unto thee, that they may be joined unto thee and minister unto thee. But thou and thy son with all shall minister before the tabernacle of witnesses. Verse 3. And they shall keep thy charge, all thy tabernacle, only they shall not come nigh the vessel of the sanctuary and the altar, and neither Salakia, they nor ye shall die. Verse 4. And they shall be joined unto thee, and keep the charge of the tabernacle of the congregation for all the service of the tabernacle, and a stranger shall not come nigh unto you.
Salakia. So we're seeing once more where order is being really set, you understand, in everything that is being done, you understand, in the nation of Israel. The Most High again establish who he is dealing with, and when he does that, he was able to also set order in all the ranks to be able to know where there's no confusion in what's supposed to take place. Right? Verse 18 and 2 says, And thy brethren also of the tribe of Levi, the tribe of thy father, bring you thou with thee, that they may be joined unto thee and minister unto thee. But thou and thy sons with thee shall minister before the tabernacle of witnesses. So it's still within the tribe of Levi. Aaron's son had a special job. You understand? And they would be what the head priest. Even though he had his other brothers who also in the tribe of Levi, they also had their job to do. You understand? But there was still a separation between those two. So in relation to the work that had to be done. You understand? There was structure, there was rank, and there was order. You understand? And that was re-established during this time. I don't know if you want to add anything, sir?
Yeah.
I'm most thankful. Then what's the truth? Yeah. So we continue reading of about 18 and 4, right? Yeah. The book of Numbers, chapter 18 and verse 5. Washamaratham, Masharatham, Hakodash, Wa'ata, Masharah Salakia, Mashah Marath, Hamazabak, Wala'a, Hayahawa, I Wada, Kwatazap, I, Banya Yasha'ala, with 6. Wa'anaya, Hanaha, Lakwa Kataya, Salaki, Aka Yakam, Halawayam, Atawaka, Banya Yasha'ala, Lakam, Matana, Natanayam, La Yahawah, La Aidaba, Ibada, Ahal, Mawaida, verse 7. Wa'ata, Wabayaka, Ataka, Tasha'a, Marawa, Kana, Salakia, Kana, Natan, Kam, Lakal, the Ba, Hamatazab, Hama, Zabah, Walamazabah, Tia, Laparaf, Kat, Wa'ibadatam, Ibadah, Matan, Atan, Ata, Kahanatakam, Wahaza, Hakorab, Yawatam, verse 8. Wayadaba, Yahweh, Allah, Aharan, Wa'anaya, Hana, Natantaya, Kal, Masharatha, Tarawa, Mataya, Lakal, Padashya, Banya, Yash'ala, Kal, Latanatayam, Lamashaka, Walabaya, Yaka, Lakakwa, Iwalam, verse 9. Zaha, Yahayaha, Kal, Makwadash, Hakodashiam, Man, Ha'ash, Kal, Kwaraban, Noma, Lakal, Manakatam, Walakal, Kata'atam, Walakal, Ashama, Ashar, Yabawa, Leah, Kwadashiam, Lakam, Hawa'a, Walabanyaka, was 11. Bakwadash, Hakodashiam, Atakalawa, Lanawa, Kal, Zakar, Ya'akal, Atawa, Kodash, Hayawa, Salakia, Hayahaya, Lakal, was 11. Wazaha, Kal, Tarawatam, Salakia, Tarawamath, Matanama, Lakal, Tanawa, Path, Banya Yash'ala, Kal, Natan Tayam, Walabanayaka, Walabana Tayaka, Ataka, Lakakwa, Iwalam, Kal, Tanawarawa, Salakia, Tahawo, Bayaka, Yaakal, Atawa,
Numbers chapter 18 and verse 5. And ye shall keep the charge of the sanctuary and the charge of the altar, that there be no wrath any more upon the children of Israel. And I, behold, I have taken your brethren, the Levites, from among the children of Israel to you. To you, they are given as a gift for the Lord to do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. Verse 7. Therefore, thou and thy son with thee shall keep your priest office forever. Salakia, for everything of the altar and within the veil, and ye shall serve. And I have given your priest's office unto you as a service of gift, and the stranger that cometh nigh shall be put to death. Verse 8. And the Lord spake unto Aaron, Behold, I also have given thee the charge of my heave of offerings of all the hallowed things of the children of Israel. Unto thee I have given them a reason of the anointing, and to thy sons by the ordinance forever. This shall be thine of the most holy things, reserved from the fire. Every oblation of theirs, every meat offering of theirs, and every sin offering of theirs, and every trespass offering of theirs, which they shall render unto me, shall be most holy for thee and for thy sons. Verse 10. In the most holy place shalt thou eat it. Every male shall eat it, and it shall be holy unto thee. Verse 11. For this is thine, the heave offering of their gift, with all the wave offering of the children of Israel, I have given them unto thee, and to thy sons, and to thy daughters with thee, by a statute forever. Every one that is clean in thy house shall eat of it.
So like once more seen, once more where order is continually being established. As you know, the children of Israel were going through the wilderness. You understand? They were going through a training. You understand? They were being prepared. You understand? And during that time, everything what needs to be done when issues come up, they were dealt with, and then order was put in place so that those things wouldn't happen again. You understand? And that is something that is kept here in these records for us to understand and to remember who the Lord is. You understand? So like here.
So again, just reiterating again and showing again, how the Most High always, make that separation where he will always bring to the forefront again who is the people in charge or the men in charge, within this tabernacle or within this priesthood. And though again, the Levites, again being chosen at this time, to lead the priesthood, there was still a house, where would be recognized amongst all the brethren. So it will not have no conflict, because again, when you go back and again you read what took place before with Korah and Dathan, you see the outcome of that. Now the Most High again re-establishing and making it known that, hey, these is the people, or this is Aaron and his sons is the ones who will be eaten again, as he make mention again, bringing them again to minister unto the people and accepting, whatever, as he make mention, reserve that is not burned as theirs, right? So
Alright, can. And that we say Matthew. Express.
Maikwa. Banya Shala.
Michael, Ban Yamian Banya Shala.
How about some of your Shabbat Katum?
Yahweh Hashem Shebakta. Yes, Shabbat.
So we continue reading in the book of Numbers chapter 18 and verse 12. Kal, Kalab, Yatazaha, Wakal, Kalab, Tayara, Wash, Gan, Ra'asha Yatham, Ashar, Yathanawa, La Yahweh, Kal, Nathayim, verse 13. Bakar, Waraya, Kal, Ashar, Ba'aratazam, Ashar, Yabayawa, La Yahweh, Kal, Yaha, Kal, Tahawo, Babaya Taka, Yaakalawan, Salakia, Yaaka Lanawa, verse 14. Kal, Karam, Bayasharala, Lakal, Yahayaha, verse 15. Kal, Patah, Rakam, Lakal, Bashar, Ashar, Yakoraya Bawa, La Yahawa, Ba'adam, Wa Bahamaha, Yahayaha, Lakal, Aka, Pada, Tapada, Bakawo, Adam, Wa'ata, Bakawo, Habaham, Hatama'a, Tapada, verse 16. Wapada Wapada Wayawa, Maban, Kadash, Tabada, Ba'ai Rakaka, Kasap, Kamashaf, Shakwalayim, Bashakwal, Hakwadash, Aisharayim, Gara, Hawa'a, verse 17. Aka, Bakawo, Hawa, Bakawo, Kashal, Awa, Bakawo, Aiza, La'a, Tapad, Kodash, Ham, Ata, Damam, Tazarakwa, Al, Hamazabak, Wa'ab, Salakia, Kalabam, Takwataya, Salakia, Takwa, Tayara, Asha, Larayaka, Nayakaka, La Yahawa, verse 18. Wabashar, Ramah, Yahayaha, Laka, Kakaza, Hatanayawa, Salakia, Hata Nawapa, Wakash Salakia, Waka Shawakwa, Hayamayan, Ka, Yahayaha.
Kawankan. The book of Numbers, chapter 18 and verse 12. All the best of the oil, and all the best of the wine, and of the wheat, the first fruits of them which they shall offer unto the Lord, them have I given thee. Verse 13. And whatsoever is first ripe in the land, which they shall bring unto the Lord, shall be thine. Every one that is clean in thine house shall eat of it. Verse 14. Everything devoted in Israel shall be thine. Verse 15. Everything that openeth the matrix in all flesh, which they bring unto the Lord, whether it be of men or beasts, shall be thine. Nevertheless, the firstborn of man shall thou surely redeem, and the firstling of unclean beasts shall thou redeem. Verse 16. And those that are to be redeemed from a month old shall thou redeem, according to thine estimation, for the money of 5 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, which is 20 gerahs. Verse 17. But the firstling of a cow
of the firstling of a sheep, Salakia, but the firstling of a cow, or the firstling of a sheep, or the firstling of a goat, thou shalt not redeem. They are holy. Thou shalt sprinkle their blood upon the altar, and shalt burn their fat for an offering made by fire, for a sweet savor unto the Lord. Verse 18, and all flesh of them shall be thine, as the wave breast and the right shoulder are thine.
Wait, start from 12.
Kanukan.
Oh, so like, let's do one more piece. Verse 19.
Verse 19.
Yeah.
Kanukan. The book of Numbers, chapter 18 and verse 19. All the wave, all the heave offerings of the holy things which the children of Israel offer unto the Lord have I given thee, and thy sons and thy daughters with thee, by a statute forever. It is a covenant of salt forever before the Lord unto thee and to thy seed with thee.
Oh, I miscalled banana.
Come.
All right, so like, so we see it once more, just a continuation of the order that's supposed to be laid down, you understand? And Moses is using Moses to re-establish that and to give the nation of Israel their own customs, their own heritage. You understand? Because at that time, remember, we coming out of Egypt and still have a lot of these things of these Egyptian customs and cultures in our system. You understand? In our minds. And slowly but surely through this time in the wilderness, all these things are being purged out. All the rebellion, all the old gods, all the old ways of the Egyptians, all these things are being put aside, and a new culture is being created. A new custom is being created. One that will establish the nation of Israel to be what? Separate, to be Quadash. You understand? From every other nation under the sun. So like I said, add anything?
That's one thing again, just show it again, and to the point where the Most High again continue to establish the order and continue again to demonstrate what instructions supposed to be followed. And anybody again try to go beyond the order, beyond that specific, this will be the outcome. And again showing again the order coming down. This is what is expected of of the priesthood or Aaron and his sons at this time. Right?
No, understand. So we continue reading the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 19. Ka, ma, ha, yaha, salakia, yaha, wa, banya, yasha'al, la Yahweh, Natan, nataya, laka, wala banyaka, wala baya, salakia, wala ba, Natan yaka, ataka, la kakwa, Iwalam, Baratam, Salakia, Barataya, Malaka, Iwalam, Hawa, Lapanya, Yahweh, Laka, Wala, Zaraaika, Athka, verse 20, Wayahama, Yahweh, Allah, Aharan, Ba'aratazam, La'a, Tanakal, Wakalakwa, La'a, Yahayaha, Laka, Bathwakam, Anaya, Kalapaka, Wanaka, Lataka, Bathwaka, Banya Yasha'ala, verse 21. Wa Labanya Lawaya Hana Nathan Nataya Ka Ma'ir Shara Banya Sha'ala Lanakala Kalak Ibadatam Asha Ham Ibad Ibadah Ahal Mawa'ida, verse 22. Wala Yakorabawa Iwada Banya Yasha'ala La Ahal Mawa'ida La Kata La, verse 23. Wa'ida Halayawa Salakia Halawaya Hawa'a Ibadah Ahal Mawa'ida Waham Yasha'awa Iwanam Kakwat Ladarati Yakam Wabat Waka Ban Salakia Banya Yasha'ala La'a Yanakalawa Anakal, verse 24. Kaya Ata Salakia Ma'aishara Banya Yasha'ala Ashar Yara'ai Yam Salakia Yara Yamawa La Yahawah Tarawam Nathan Taya Lawayam Lanakal Kam Amariata Salaki Amarathia Laham Basuka Banya Yasha'ala La'a Yanakalawa Nakal, verse 25. Wayadaba Yahawah Allah Masha La'ama.
The book of Numbers, chapter 18 and verse 19. All of the holy things which the children of Israel offer unto the Lord have I given thee, and thy sons and thy daughters with thee, by a statute forever. It is a covenant of salt forever before the Lord unto thee, and to thy seed with thee. Verse 20. And the Lord spake unto Aaron, Thou shalt have no inheritance in their land, neither shalt thou have any part among them. I am thy part, and thine inheritance among the children of Israel. Verse 21. And behold, I have given the children of Israel all the tenth is Salakia, all the tenth is Israel for an inheritance, for their service which they serve, even the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. Verse 22. Neither must the children of Israel henceforth come nigh the tabernacle of the congregation, lest they bear sin and die. Verse 23. But the Levites shall do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation, and they shall bear the iniquity. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations, that among the children of Israel they have no inheritance. Verse 24. But the tithes of the children of Israel, which they offer as an offering unto the Lord, I have given to the Levites to inherit. Therefore I have said unto them among the children of Israel, they shall have no inheritance. Verse 25. And the Lord spake unto Moses.
So we've seen once more, making it clear, any confusion that people had about tithes or how it was used or how it was done in the ancient times. Some people say you're sacrificing to this idol and sacrificing to that idol. The Levites, who were the priests, to take care of all the things for the nation of Israel, in relation to the tabernacle, they didn't have no inheritance. They didn't have no farmland. They had to go and work no way. You understand? And because they were doing the service of the Most High, everything in relation to dealing with the tabernacle, from the moving, from the packing to the cleaning, to whatever needs to be done, to the mending, whatever needs to be done, they had to do that. That was their service. And because they didn't have an inheritance, you understand, the tenth that was supposed to be given by all the tribes, by the rest of Israel, that was used to what? Maintain these brothers who were doing the service of the Lord. All the sacrifices that were done, all the meat, all the food that was cooked, that was for those men who performed the service of the Most High. You understand? And that is why even today in the I.S.U.P.K and the commanding GEN.YAHANNA, we say what? Pay your tithes. Because this is not just going for, to say what, to have men to eat and drink. This going towards the work of the Lord. You understand? Because we are all what? Kings and priests here in the I.S.U.P.K under commanding GEN.YAHANNA. From all the tribes. You understand? Because we are under what? The order of Melchizedek. You understand? Even the so-called Levites now. You understand? So this is where your tithes is important to help what? Further keep this nation in order, to get things done. We have brothers and sisters who need a lot. Not like these selfish Christian churches that just take money and buy Benz and Bentleys and private jets and million-dollar mansions while the people suffer. In the I.S.U.P.K under commanding GEN.YAHANNA, your tithes work for the nation of Israel. And so like I said, and if you're not anything, so all right, no sign Christ. It's like I'll read us with us, right?
Come on, come.
We continue the reading. Where we go? Yeah. So,
No, la. Come on, come. Yeah.
so we continue the reading in the book of Numbers chapter 18 and verse 26. Wa Allah Halawayim Sadabar wa Amara Alaham Kaya Takwa Kawa Mata Banya Yasha'al Hama Aisha Asha Natantaya Lakam Ma'atam Banakala Ta Kam Waharatham Mamanawa Tarawa Mata Ma Yahawa Ma'aishara Mana Hama Aishara. Verse 27. Wanakashab Lakam Tarawa Mata Kam Kadagan Man Hagaran Wa Kamala Man Hayakwa. Verse 28. Khan Taraya Mawa Gam Atam Tarawa Ma Yahawa Makal Aishara Yakam Asha Takokawa Ma'ata Banya Yasha'ala Manatan Tam Mamanawa Tarawatam Salakia Tarawama Yahawah La'aharan Hakahan. Verse 29. Makal Nata Yakam Tarayamawa Ka Tarawatham Salaki Taramath Yahawa Makal Lakabawa Makodashua Mamanawa. Verse 30. Wa Amara Alaham Bahara Yam Salakia Baha Rayam Ka. A. Kalabawa. Mamanawa. Wana Kashab. Lalayam. Salaki. Lalawayam. Katabawa Ata. Garan. Wakata Bawa Ata. Yabakwa. Verse 31. Wa akal tam. Athawa. Baka. Wakawa. Atam. Wabaya. Takam. Kaya. Shaka. Hawa'a. Lakam. Kalab. Ibada. Takam. Abahal. Mawa'ida. Verse 32. Wala'a. Tasha'awa. Aliyawa. Kata. Bahariyakam. Kalabawa. Mamanawa. Wa'ata. Kwadashia. Manya. Yasha'ala. La'a. Takalawa. Wala'a. Tamawa'atawa. That's it.
Come on, Khan. The book of Numbers, chapter 18 and verse 26. Thus speak unto the Levites, and say unto them, when ye take of the children of Israel the tithes, which I have given unto you from them for your inheritance, then ye shall offer up a heave offering of it for the Lord, even a tenth part of the tithe. Verse 27. And this your heave offering shall be reckoned unto you, as though it were the corn of the threshing floor, and as the fullness of the winepress. Thus ye shall offer an heave offering unto the Lord all your tithes which ye receive of the children of Israel, and ye shall give thereof the Lord's heave offering to Aaron the priest. Verse 29. Out of all your gifts ye shall offer every heave offering of the Lord, of all the best thereof, even the hallowed part thereof, out of it. Verse 30. Therefore thou shalt say unto them, when ye have heaved the best thereof from it, then it shall be counted unto the Levites as the increase of the threshing floor, and as the increase of the winepress. Verse 31. And ye shall eat it in every place, ye and your households, for it is yours. Reward your service in the tabernacle of the congregation. Verse 32. And ye shall bear no sin by reason of it. Ye shall have heaved it. Salakia, ye shall have heaved from it the best of it. Neither shall ye pollute the holy things of the children of Israel, lest ye die.
So once more we see where the instruction is given to how the Levites at that time were supposed to operate, and how the tithes was supposed to be used in dealing with all that what they need to get done. And even when you look at it, I think it's in verse Salakia, verse 26 says, thus speak unto the Levites and say unto them, when you take of the children of Israel the tithes which I have given you from your inheritance, then ye shall offer an heave offering of it for the Lord, even a tenth part of the tithe. So when the Levites collect these tithes from the children of Israel, they still have to pay tithes. You understand? Out of that. You understand? And I'm going to explain again how they are doing that. Right? And it goes on to verse 27. Sorry, verse 28, because 27 just let you know when you get this here, you're taking the best out of this now. You understand? Verse 28 says, thus ye shall also offer a heave offering unto the Lord of all your tithes, which ye receive of the children of Israel, and ye shall give thereof the Lord's heave offering to Aaron the priest. Right? So on top of all what they got they have to give a tithe after that, which is another 10% onto Aaron, and that would continue with Aaron and his sons. You understand? Just to keep that order and that structure for us to understand this is not nothing by chance. This is something that the Most High has set up, you understand, to keep the men of the Lord sustained. You understand? And that was being done at that time. Even when you're seeing the rank, the structure and the order, even in the tithes and the giving of gifts and all these things was done in a particular order. Mr. Lucky, I said, I don't want to say anything.
Yes, topic of verse 32, and it says, "He shall bear no sin by reason of it, when ye have heaved from the best of it." So everything that we just read from, as the priesthood, as the men, doing the service of the Lord, they receive the best of everything. Now we're going to explain this now. Best of it, neither shall ye pollute the holy things of the children of Israel. Now receiving all the best and everything, and the Most High, giving you that charge, as priests, as men, giving directives to each tribe, the children of Israel. Now taking it now and polluting it. How you're polluting this now? By doing what? By offering unto other gods. By, as you say, learning the custom, learning the ways of, the people that oppress you. You pollute all, as they say, the best, as the priesthood, as the office, receiving, as you say, the best with the Most High, acknowledge for you to get. And this is always a reminder. Don't take, what, as we say, the children of Israel, as we say, are the offering, the tithes, and do what? Just as they make mention, you buy your Benz, you take it and you squander it.
Right.
Now, with that bringing shame to it, bringing shame onto the Most High. It's bringing shame onto, the instructions and the order that He has laid down to follow. And what they're going to do, they bring shame to the house, to the nation, Israel. And this is a reminder, because again, the instructions lay down clearly, but right to the end, it lay, don't bring shame to this house. Don't pollute all, as they say, the best that the Most High give unto you. Don't pollute it. Right?
And with that brings us to the end of the service. See, I'm Madjam.
Lord, SHALAM to Israel.
Madjam up here, put down, with the right hand face the east. Sa, which means to turn. You're going to say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanaw, Shabbat Shemayim, Shadat, Yah, Shabka, Yahweh, Malakotka, Taba'ah, Zaka, Yah, Aisha, Ba'arat, Kawah, Yah, Mashamayim, Natan, Nanawa, Lakan, Ka, Yawah, Masalatna, Kawawatna, Masalatna, Kawagitwakin, Wala'ah, Tabayanawa, Manasayawa, Abba, our Shino, Mayan, Right, Ya, Laka, Amalakma, Wa'ala, Kaparat, Iwalam, Man.
In the English, Yahweh, in English, our Father, which art in heaven, be thy name, Yahweh, kingdom come, thy will be done,
Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. And we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. Deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
We're going to say the Hakak or the power. Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Baruch Shah, Rathana Now, Akak, Narapa, Kalma, Kalma the War, Akak, Nataha, Amatazarai, Akak, Mahakoyam, Amatia, Akak, Iraqwa, Amata Al, Nagarishan, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Wadaman.
In the English, Yahweh.
The name of Yahweh. The name of Yahweh.
The power.
The man of disease. Or to cleanse the leper. Or to raise the dead. Or against them to cast them out. The name of Yahweh. Thank you. So be it. You're going to say the blessings. Barakatah Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shai? Why Maka'al? Alahayim, Matazabia, Alawap Yahanna, Alawapia, Asaranya, Alapatizan Yah, Akalian Yah, Wakia, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Tuwara Aman.
In the English, bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
Man Yahweh Shai. Man General.
Captain. Officers. Troopers. Yahweh. Name of Yahweh. Thank you. So be it. We're going to say, bless Israel. Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Ratanau, Wayasha'al, Wahabiyah, Sapari, Barak, Rapal, Magan, Agan, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Wada Aman.
In the English, Yahweh.
Name of Yahweh.
Bless us. And the school, bless. Heal. Shield. Protect our Lord. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you. So be it.
We're going to say Psalm 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Al-Hariyam, Ayan, Yaba'ah, Azariah, Ayam, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Wa'aratas, Ayatan, Amawah, Ragalka, Ayanawa, Shamarka, Anna, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Shawama, Yasha'al, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Aliyah, Yamyanka, Yawama, Hashama, La'ah, Yakaka, Ayira, Balayal, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makalra, Yashama, Afnashpaka, Yahweh, Yashama, Mazahaka,
Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up my eyes.
I will lift up my eyes
to the hills.
to the hills.
Coming from my help coming from your help. Which made heaven and earth. Will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee, he will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel, neither slumber nor sleep. How is thy keeper? How is thy shade? Upon thy right hand. Smite by all the moon by night. How shall preserve all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Thou shalt preserve thy going out. Thy coming from this time forth, even forevermore.
You're going to say Psalm 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, Al-Damaya Lakal, Al-Takarat, Al-Dashakwa, Al-Kayahanna, Wayabiyaka, Hamayawan, I.S.U.P.K, Arayamam, Sawada, Wayata, I.S.U.P.K, Amara, Makawa, Onekadam, Magawia, Ala'a, Yazaka, Samyashal, Ewada, Kaya, Nawa I.S.U.P.K, Naba, Yakaro, Ayaka, Baria, Yakaratwa, Ahalia, Adawam, Wayashamai, Alayam, Mawa'ab, Hagarayim, Yabba, Aimawan, Aimala, Alasha, Ayashabi, Azawar, Gam Ashawar, Ranawa, Imam, Ayawa, Zarawai, Labayalawa, Salah, Aishalaham, Kamadia, Sayasara, Kayabia, Banakar, Koyashwa, Shamalwa, Bayan Dara, Ayawa, Dama, Adama, Shayatamwa, Nadaya Moa, Kaira, Wakazaba, Wakab, Tazamanai, Kalnasiakamwa, Washa, Amaro, Maharasha, Nanawa, Ata, Nawa, Alahaya, Shayatamwa, Kagagaga, Kakwash, Lapanya, Awaka, Ka'ash, Ira, Wa Kalahaba, Kalahala, Harayam, Khan, Taradapna, Basaraika, Awasa, Wapaska, Navahala, Al'a, Panyaham, Palawan, Maya, Wakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Waya, Bahalwa, Idi, Waya, Kaparo, Ya, Abadwa, Waya, Daiwa, Kaya, Ata, Shamka, Yahawa, Labaka, Ayawan, Alkaha, Ratza.
Psalm 83 in English. Keep not thou silent.
Keep not thou silent.
O Yahweh, hold thy peace. And be not still. O Yahweh, lo, an enemy. Get your mouth. Get that head. Lift up the head. Taking crafty counsel against thy people. Consulted against thy hidden one. Have said, come, let us cut them off. Being a nation. The name of Israel. No more remember. They have consulted together. One consent. They are confederate against the tabernacles of Edom, the Ishmaelites, of Moab, the Hagarenes, above, Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre, Assur, also is joined with them. They have helped the children of Lot, Salah, go unto them, unto the Midianites, Assyria, to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, perished at the end, it became as dawn for the earth, they noble, like Uri, like Zay, all the princes of Zahar, and Zalunna, said, to ourselves, houses of Yahweh, oh my power, make them like a wheel, and the stubble before the wind, and fire burning the wood, and flames set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy temple, make them afraid, break thy store, fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded, troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame, and perish, that men may know that thou, name alone is Yahweh, the Most High of all, and the Most High of all the good. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, all things live, Yahweh, name of Yahweh, listen to us now, right now, and evils and curses, and punishment and destruction, the heathen, that speak against us, thy prophets, teachers, princes, the priests, the Israelite brother, and the schools, and evils and curses, and punishment and destruction, the heathen, and shake loose, the treasure of the rich of Israel, refuse to give to the street, force their riches, into thy sign, and evils and curses, and punishment and destruction, the Edomites, and the nation, and their drug dealers, the court systems, princes, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of enemy, Amalek synagogue, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Islam, nation, skinheads, the gay movement, lesbian, spies, because of witchcraft, army, navy, air force, marine, Wall Street, open up the internet, and the airway, cable access channels, and the radio channel, convict the spirit of any of thy people, and seek to stop us, and swift destruction, all the heat, stand in the way, try to stop us, broadcasting your word, through all the plans, reduce all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro through the earth, and consume them, let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer, let Yahweh, Micah, Gabriel, down with the flying saucer, and punish all the heat that come up against us, as we speak that word to be known by all,
angels that are done. To spread through the media. To the whole world. Cause them to shake and I come. Name of Yahweh. Thank you all. So be it.
So be it.
Sir. Men of Israel, let's give one courtesy salute. Abadja Shabbat, Amajam, Barak, Yahweh Shem Shabbat, Yahweh Matah, dismiss.
Right, so all the priests, Rampora, Shalom Yahweh, so then, so what is good?